Burn the boat in the kingdom, can't turn around. We're lighting up the night, shaking up the ground. Excuses and flames, yeah, we're breaking free. One big fire, this is our legacy.
Well, hello, Mr. Kinder.
What's up, baby? One big fire, burning brighter than ever.
Man, our team crushed that video. I love listening to it. When they first played it, I kept playing it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, and man,
dude. The one big fire. This is our legacy.
Yeah, hey, you know what we didn't talk about, brother? So it is. We are 3 days away from my 8-year anniversary at EXP.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Happy pre-anniversary. So
yeah,
it was around Halloween?
Yeah. I joined on Halloween and went live on the 1st of November.
November 1st.
8 years ago. And
a decade.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Best 8 years of my life.
Well, it's been an amazing run, and it's kind of like leads into what we've been chatting about here before we went live. And man, I feel like I remember when we were actually kind of like thinking back to like the beginning 8 years ago before I even thought about your anniversary coming up here in a couple of days. And we talked about our Wednesdays when we used to like pour Moscow mules. We had zero agenda and we would just throw it out there, and what stuck. And it was just, man, it was so much fun. And 8 years later, we're still here. We're having fun, having more fun than ever. But what's forced us to do is, we had this great run, and yes, it's been the most fun and most fulfilling thing I've ever been a part of. But we find ourselves, now in 2025, looking at 2026 and looking at, not reinventing the wheel, but, kind of like refining the machine, if you will, a little bit. 100%, right?
Dude. Like, this is how I describe it, dude. So, and I've told you this, but I want everybody to understand like what we think about, what we're doing, how we're approaching things. In every business that I've ever been a part of, every business, there's two things that are always true. If you're either focused on cash flow, and your priorities are around marketing and sales, and that's really it. Like you're always, the priority that comes out and shakes out a strategy every quarter is we need more sales and we need more marketing. Like it always is. For the first time in my life, this entire year has been iterating on process improvement and refining, like you're saying, processes and how do we make it better. That is a completely different world to live in, number one, because usually what would happen is unless the fire was burning really bright, meaning there was a problem that you had to solve, the focus was about how do I do more? How do I do more? There was never this, man, hey, let's go back and let's make that better. Let's go back and iterate on that. Let's get that to convert at a little higher percentage. Let's make that more scalable, right? And so this whole year, I've been sitting back doing the work. I'm like a damn, like Dr. Dre in the lab back here all year long on, man, we're not going to try to go faster because I know we can. And, part of me likes to hit the gas and just like, let's just gas it up and see what happens. We'll, the wake behind us, we'll solve those problems as we run into them. Or we could nail it before we scale it. And it's refreshing to be in a place where you don't have to think about cash flow. You don't have to think about selling. You don't have to think about marketing. Those aren't the priorities. And the truth is, when you have a product that is so good that you don't need to market it, sales come naturally, right? So, and we're not selling anything per se, but we're selling people on making a change in their life to come to EXP. And what are all the ways that we can improve upon and make it such an irresistible reason to join with EXP that you can't say no? And that's been the focus the last year. It's different when you go into strategy and you're looking at where's the biggest opportunity to improve something versus, man, we got to go from 40 to 50 sales, or we got to go from this number of views to this number. Like it's a very refreshing it's a different kind of animal you got to be to focus on process improvement and not try to sell or not try to grow, not try to hit the throttle. And so not that we're not growing, because we're growing faster than we have in the last probably 3 or 4 years. We just mentioned I crossed 8,000 agents, which is more than we had at the beginning of the year. So we're back in growth mode at a huge clip. So 8,003 in the organization. Look at that, 333 icon agents. That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
So we have added 2,000 agents, 2,050 year to date. Look at that production, 68,676 transactions per agent year to date. This is an important one. So 8.61. So it's not about just adding agents. Our agents are out producing. This is year to date, 8. That's higher. That's probably double or almost triple the average agent production. That's by design.
It's at least double.
Yeah, it's at least double, and we still got 2 more months. And so those are huge numbers. Teams, a lot of teams, 653 team leaders. Rev share probably shouldn't be showing that, but the 33 billion in production. I don't know about you, Al, but I don't think that I ever thought we'd be building a team that was going to do 30. I don't think that math ever. It may have been in the early days when we set the big 10-year vision, but that's a big number. 33 billion in billion with a B. That's an incredible accomplishment. But I can't wait for next year. I've never been more excited than where we're at right now. And the main reason, there's a lot of reasons we could get into. We talk about it on this podcast all the time as to why, we're the wind. We have the wind at our backs right now as a company. And that hasn't been the case for the last 3 or 4 years. Even with all the change, all the things that have come, we're just in a place where the next 5 years are going to be the biggest 5 years in this company's history. And I know it. I see it. It's not a guess. It's not it's not aspirational. It's already happening. I see the data. And so it's go time, man. I'm excited about what we can do. And thanks to Chat GPT and AI, we're just able to do things we could never do before. And it's wild, but it's fun. Super excited.
The 2 things that have been going through my mind is this. If I were to have to pick one word for 2025, which you had said because of one thing, I have to pick the word implementation. Your implementation team that you put together that's executing on all that. Now think about it. They're putting 2025 in the same map of 2024 as like the 2 worst years of real estate since 1996. These are the statistics back that up. That's no lie. But those numbers are beating the pants off. And it's, when we're looking at these numbers, we're talking about 8,000 agents. We're not talking about 8 or 800 agents. Like it's still a microcosm, but it's more of a macro than most look at.
Yeah, it should follow the trend. It should follow the averages. If
totally follow that trend.
Something's different, or it would be tracking with the average. Like that's just the truth. Yeah. That big of a sample size. What's up, Mario?
So when we're talking about implementation, you solve that problem. In order to solve the implementation problem for an agent, said differently, it's the thing that gives agents brain damage. You can give them a piece of software and say, here's a free CRM, use it. Here, let me come to this class. I'm going to show you how to run an ad on Facebook.
Yes.
And all these things put together. Now, let me show you how to set the follow-up system up. Attend this class here. We'll show you how to convert these leads. There's so many moving parts, branding, everything else. What you've done with the new program, Funnel Pilot, that's working phenomenally well. Here's the cool thing. It doesn't matter whether you're an agent trying to go from 40 to 80 sales or you're brand new trying to get started. This solves the implementation problem that most agents, I would say 80% of agents that get into this, it's not that they're not good salespeople or they're not smart enough. It's just the implementation gives you brain damage, and you end up just throwing your hands up and saying, forget it. And you're either out of the business or maybe you join the wrong team, whatever it is. And then eventually you are out of the business again. So and we're not solving it from like team leaders have solved the biggest problem.
Oh yeah.
For years and years. We're solving it for the solo agent. And that's what I think 2025's theme's been about.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's, I talked to 3 agents yesterday that said, I asked them what technology they were using. They were saying, well, I have it, but I don't ever log into it. And the truth is, in the future, you're not going to log into your database. Your database is just going to be a back end that manages everything and behind the scenes. You should never have to log into a database. But the truth is, like, okay, what you should do marketing. Every agent says it's the same story every time. When you got your license, they should have just gave you a plaque that says "Figure it out." That you've been trying to figure it out. You've tried this. You paid Zillow. Zillow's charging 41.5%. Fundamentally, it's crazy. I'm going to say it again because I'm never going to get credit for it, and that's fine. But what we're doing is we're leveraging AI to lower the customer acquisition cost for a real estate agent. That's what we do. And right now, the CAC, the cost to acquire a customer is in the $3,000 to $4,000 range, and you're paying all these lead sources $60 or 41.5% of your commission, or your broker's giving you the deal and taking 30% and then putting you on at 50-50. That's just the way the model's been. What's innovative about all of this is I don't need your money. So I get paid plenty if I make you successful. So guess who wakes up every day thinking, how do I make it better? Me, because if I can execute on getting you into production, I can win only if you win. So it's a better relationship to be in. Number one, it's better for real estate agents. That's why this model works. But I'm not trying to monetize a model that's not profitable, like a brokerage model where, if I was doing this in a brokerage model, if I didn't want to be in production, I'd have to be charging you 25% and that had to be a revenue stream for me. And so people just don't get it. Like once they understand, well, what's the catch? Well, the catch is you got to come to EXP. I can't do this without the tools being provided for you for free. Unless I have an upside, I wouldn't do it for free. You can pay me 15, 20 grand. I'll do it for you. But now I got to take my whole team who has the systems and processes are all dialed in over here. And you want me to go help you for 15 grand? I'd rather not. I'd rather you just come to EXP and let me help you for free. And so it's just an incredible offer to be able to make. And most people are like, yeah, but I've heard that before, and then you get over it, and it doesn't happen. And that's the people have to get through the understanding of, I only win if you win. So I've built $100,000 a month marketing and implementation team. We know the best practices. We can do it all for you. And then what AI is allowing us to do is just really, really zero in on the right audience, the ideal customer profile, the sweet spot in the market. And all of that from an automation standpoint on my end is not as heavy as it would have been. And so I can do it. And I, like, if I had to pick the images or have a VA pick the images, we're going to pick the wrong image every once in a while. Your lead cost goes up. Okay, shit. All right. Now we're able to leverage AI. Guess what? ChatGPT pretty good. It gets it right. Well, so far every time, but pretty wild for sure. What's up, Kyle? How do I add value? Am I wearing your shirt today? Oh man, I got a black shirt on, but it's not the add value shirt. So that Kyle Osborne, shout out, add value. Put your link in there for your gear, man. My favorite shirts that I wear almost every day are add value. Because why? Because we like to add value.
That's right. Yeah, man. It's exciting to think about what this year has brought. Massive success. It's been brick by brick, piece by piece. Did not happen overnight. But what's more exciting is thinking about 2026, and even more exciting than 2026. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Is 2030. We're in our second half coming up here of this decade, right? And AI, with the program that we're using right here, agents don't have to come in here and figure out a bunch of AI. That's the thing I want to make sure that I emphasize from what you just said. We already know how to use it, and that's how we're able to lower the cost. Now, yeah, you can plug into a lot of the things that we're doing with AI, and you should, but it's not, plugging into what we have is literally like it's like paint by numbers. It's so easy. We didn't recreate the wheel, I guess is what I'm saying. But what AI is allowing us to do is move at such a fast speed. And that's why the ship is turning so quickly. What's real exciting is what it's going to look like in 2030. You just said you're not even going to have to log into a CRM in 2030. Things are going to be different. What are you looking at? Let's back up a little bit. 2026. The ship is turned around. We're starting to see more and more people win. We're also seeing a lot more people coming back. We have another young lady from Canada, just got her phone, and she left. She actually went to Remax, and she's on her way back. Can't wait to get back in. And she actually was doing her research and found us online. And because she was interviewed, she's like, I'm not going to make the same mistake I did the last time, right? You know, she just picked someone who wasn't giving her any support. You were talking about adding value. The people didn't add any value. And some people, it doesn't mean they're bad people.
They have good intentions. I believe they all have good intentions, but
they do have great intentions, but they just don't have any value to add. Now we have co-sponsorship, so we literally can help everybody and still be financially aligned. We always helped everybody anyway. Right. 2026, dude.
Yep.
I know we've been spending some time thinking about it. What are we looking? What are we most excited about for 2026?
Man, so I'm obsessed, right? I'm almost afraid to get out and get out front with this because I know I'm so detailed. I'm so down in the weeds with process improvement to scale. But I know this. I know that we're going to add 1,000 agents a month. We'll get to that in 26. I think we'll get to it maybe by the half year point at 1,000 agents a month joining our organization. The only thing that's keeping that from happening right now is me not putting it out there. If I put it out there, it would happen. And it would, but I don't think I can handle the scale yet. And so I've got a few more things we got to dial in, but to be able to do it at scale and get the results. And this is the big difference, man. When you join a group at EXP, there's a lot of great people you can join with. There's no excuse now. You could all align. You could pick your best person, the person that's told you about EXP, your friend, your cousin, your uncle, doesn't matter who it is. But you can also choose us and to bring us in alignment. And we're going to bring this piece in for you for free. So like we're going to help you for free. Doesn't cost you anything. I don't even know how to take a credit card. That's a true story. If I had to, I wouldn't even know how to do it. So I'm trying to do everything at no cost whatsoever, which I don't know anybody else playing the game that way. So anybody else that's out there trying to figure out how to sell their product and sell this and sell that, that's good. I don't have anything against that. I did it for 15, 20 years. I sold a lot of products to real estate agents, 10 million a year. That's great. I don't need that. So I'm trying to everything we do, how can I do it at scale and do it for free? And so we've got lead gen. I can take, and it's even better for teams. Like if you're a team and you're running 41.5% referral fee flex system, your margins are tiny and you have to be in production and you know what your problems are and y'all all went off these portals. So how do we take control of your own lead gen? And how do I take the things I've learned in my entire life about what works, whether it's direct mail, marketing to your database, all those things that I would teach and you had to go implement, I can now implement for you. And that's where it's going to get fun is taking one segment of the business, all these pillars that we used to teach people to build in their business as they would get to different levels of production. Now we can come in and be like, let me do an assessment of your business. Let's see the right things in the right order. Now let me implement, boom, 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 and put all those things in place. That's where we're going to be in 2026. And that's going to be a lot of fun. It's the thing people don't see coming, they just don't know, they're not aware. But when you can partner with us, whether inside of EXP or outside of EXP, and all this is free, and we do it for you too, it's an irresistible offer. The big bet that I made is I built $100,000 a month team. These are not just your average people. These are the best people that I've ever worked with. Think $10,000 a month employees that are ahead of each one of these systems and processes that you need to implement. From a coaching perspective, we all saw it, Al, like you are a 1%er. You implemented the shit we told you to do. What happened to your business? Double. Right. And so that we saw that happen. Oh, hey, good implementer probably has a good implementer on the team too, that helped implement some of those things, but you made it through, get it all implemented. But for those that struggled with implementation, which is, again, like you said, it's 80% or more of the agents that are out there, man, you just want somebody to help you. You're just like, man, if the phone rings, I can take it from there. If that's you, then I got you. So let me help you with that part. I'll get the phone to ring, super low cost. Think $190 acquisition cost. You make $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 commission. I can do that for you all day long. So if that's your biggest problem and you're not here partner with us at EXP, then you're either not paying attention to what we're doing or you haven't seen the offer. And this is the craziest thing for those that geek out on metrics. I've been going through this data that we've been testing behind the scenes. Nobody really knows what we're doing. Only a handful of people are involved, but we had 46% conversion from, we had 17% conversion from anybody who registered to watch the webinar to license has already transferred to EXP. That in itself is a great number. It's an unheard of number. The videos watched, which is inside of Go High Level, is not tracked perfectly, but we have a solution. We're going to be able to solve that. So I'll know who watches, how much they watch, how exactly. It's showing 46% with 149 people in the buckets of verbally committed or application sent. So there's 150 more people in there that haven't converted out of the 280 that we have brought through it. So the real numbers are probably like, if you saw this offer, you're going to convert it about 30. I'm going to say it's 35%. It could be, and you know me, Al, I'm going to shoot low.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you the 25%, cut it in half number. I think it's going to be between 30 and 35% of people that see this offer actually leave and join us. And that's what it has been. And, so now it's just a question of how many people can we get to see it. But this is the opportunity from a revenue share perspective, best it's ever been. You remember, Al, when we went to Glenn's meeting in North Seattle. Where was that? Where is it? He lives there.
Yeah. Like right on the Canadian border there.
Yeah. There was a time, and I said this, I don't even remember who I said it to. I said, man, everything is great now. We're growing like crazy. We don't even really have competition. I said, the real test is going to be who stays in the pocket when it gets tough. And, Glenn had said in that meeting, he said, we're going to have competition. And, we want to be profitable, but we don't want to be so profitable we invite a ton of competition. Well, too late. Everybody figured out, with what happened to the stock, and all this competition came online the last 3 years. All of them are facing headwinds when we were hitting tailwinds and growing while we were managing trying to keep the wheels between the ditches. All of those companies are now getting destroyed in terms of headwinds. Worst market you've ever seen, hard to be profitable. Agents are losing faith. You can't really afford to do the things you need to do. They're all struggling. And we made it through that onslaught. They all targeted us and our agents. So they tried to recruit away from us. Some people thought the grass was greener. We know now 9 people a day come back to EXP from other, but they have been here before. They tried. It wasn't what they thought it was. They came back. And now we're sitting atop the mountain going into the next 5 years, which will be the best 5 years for this company's history, in growth mode with competition that's beat up and with a legacy brands that can't innovate outside of their model. I don't see any way that we don't add another 100,000 agents the next 3 to 5 years. And so if there was a time to go all in, it's right now. That's my story.
The next wave's here. And the truth is, the people that should be listening to this, who you should be sharing with, are two groups. Group number one, if you're trying to go from, let's say, 5 deals to 25 or 25 to 50 sides, Funnel Pilot solves this problem for you. If you're trying to grow your brand, you're trying to figure out what to post and organically bring free leads in addition to the funnels we built, you need to listen to this. The second group are team leaders. The number one problem team leaders have is what? Recruiting productive real estate agents. And most of the time it's because they don't have number one, they don't have a recruiting system. Number two, if they do, it's maybe just cold calling and telling them all about the features and benefits of the team. What we have is a magnet. We have an offer, an actual offer that you can then sandwich on top of your team's offer. It's just better. It's better because it targets your target audience, that team member that you want to join your team. So, these are two systems that they didn't get built overnight. I can tell you that. Yeah. And by the way, they're not perfect, but they're operating at a clip we've never seen before. 2026 is going to be amazing. I'm just going to throw this out there, Jay. So I was actually last night, trying to prepare for our call here today and trying to find a naming convention. We've done we've done masterminds. We've done some what do they call it? Couples retreats and some different retreats. And we are bringing that back to Lake Tahoe. So
yeah, baby.
keep your eyes and ears peeled. We have we're going to be having a high level invite only mastermind out in Lake Tahoe, North Lake Tahoe here in 2026. So keep your ears peeled for that. We're going to be putting some dates out here very, very shortly. And we did a with Coach Burt. If you remember, we did a couple couples retreats, and you know what, our honey badgers loved them. We called it Living with a Honey Badger, and we're going to be bringing that back with a really special guy that's going to help us guide that, Dr. Matt Townsend. He's my personal coach and just an amazing human being. He's out in Salt Lake City, so he's already agreed. He's excited to come to Lake Tahoe. So be on the lookout for those two events, and that's about all I got. I'm excited for 2026. Great job, brother.
Hey man, appreciate you, dude. It's been a blessing. It's been the most fun that I've had in my entire life, and it's just getting better. But I think, the thing that I'm most excited about is I get to wake up every day and help people, and I don't have to think about money. I don't have to ask for your money. And so I feel like real estate should be that way. It's kind of sold as is, you get in the business and you think people are going to help you, and then you get there and you're like, ain't nobody helping me. Like, what happened? And, it's hard. I went through it. You went through it. We all struggled to figure it out. Like, you got to be an animal to figure it out. If you're doing a lot of production, and that I already know who you are, because I know who you had to become to get to it. And, though now we can implement and help you get to the next level. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to go through you don't have to guess. You don't have to be like, all right, I got my commission. Let me try this one and let me try that thing. And it's just going to get better for the AI enabled agent, which is what we're going to be helping you implement, leveraging AI. You don't have to be an expert and figure all this stuff out. So yeah, man, it's fun, man. I'm excited. I'm always excited, I guess, but I feel like I'm probably the most excited I've ever been.
All right, brother. I know you're late to a call, man. Great seeing you. We'll see you next Tuesday. We'll see you at the top, everybody.
The top.
Burn the boat in the kingdom, can't turn around. We're